Hey guys, welcome to Vixikitsi. The beginning of it all. Super Mario Kart released on August 27th, 1992 in Japan, and 5 days later on September 1st, 1992 in North America. You might have heard this all before, so I won't spend too much time on it, especially since I have other games to get to in this video. Anywho, here's some history. This game was produced by Shigeru Miyamoto and directed by Tadashi Sugiyama and Hideki Kono. The development team had set out to create a new multiplayer racing game for the Super Nintendo to contrast F-Zero, which had released in 1990. F-Zero was well received, selling 2.85 million copies, which for a new IP racing game back in that time isn't bad at all. The problem was, though, it was a single-player racing game, so the team that was developing Super Mario Kart had set out to make a two-player casual racing game for all ages. It didn't start off as a Mario series game. In fact, that had never even been proposed until a few months of development had passed. Initially, they just had a generic character and overall slapped in a cart, and that was that. The decision was apparently made while observing when a racer would look at another racer while driving by. They then said, Mario! And so Mario Kart was born. And it's okay. So this is a good start to a series. Some people will tell you that Mario Kart peaked on the Super Nintendo, and stupid. They're stupid. That's a little harsh. You aren't stupid if your favorite Mario Kart is Super. No, you're just wrong. That's all. This is not Mario Kart at its best, but it's a comfortable enough, cozy experience, and it works pretty much how you'd want a racing game to work on the Super NES. So, there are 3 classes, 50cc, 100cc, and by getting gold on every cup in 100cc, you could unlock 150cc. You pick a character, select a cup, and race. Try to get first. Time trials are here too. Do I really need to tell you what Mario Kart is? The controls definitely feel a little loose compared to, well, every other Mario Kart game, but I mean, what can you do? It's a racing game on a 2D system attempting to chug out 3D, plus it's the first game of a series, so of course it's not going to be perfect. Alright, well firstly we should take a look at this thing. The character roster. A solid lineup, all things considered. All Mario Kart mainstays. Yeah, okay. So, you have Mario, Peach, Bowser, Koopa Troopa, Luigi, Yoshi, Toad, and then this? Donkey Kong Jr.? Why? Just, like, okay, so, of all other Mario characters, you pick Donkey Kong Jr.? Don't get me wrong, I'm not upset he's here, but who, while designing this game and thinking about characters, said, let's make one of our 8 character slots be the son of the ape that hasn't appeared since 1986? Yeah, okay, whatever. I play as Mario anyways, he's kind of the all-around character, and anything else for this game is kind of tough for me. So when looking at the courses, it's obvious that a lot of course themes are reused. You have 4 Mario circuits, 3 Donut Plains, 3 Ghost Valleys, 3 Bowser's Castles, 3 Choco Islands, 2 Koopa Beaches, 2 Vanilla Lakes, and 1 Rainbow Road. Listen, the fact that Rainbow Road is the only course in this game that has an exclusive theme already makes it one of the best courses in the game. I'm not going to talk about every course because then I'd have to do that for every game, and it's already taken several sittings to script this video up to this point. However, I will rattle off some highlights. Mario Circuit 2. The turns aren't too difficult, this jump is fun, and it's my favorite Mario circuit of the bunch. Bowser's Castle 1. Honestly, the other 2 are obnoxious to me. This is the only one I can tolerate, and tolerate it I do. This one's pretty fun. Choco Island 2. Now, both Choco Islands are retina burners, and a lot of people don't like the mud physics, but I'm gonna stand up for the Choco Island mud-liker community, then let the world know that my opinion doesn't matter. Ghost Valley 3. I don't know what to say, I just like it. And of course, Rainbow Road. No guardrails, no colorful blocks, no off-road, no anything. It's challenging for sure, but it's the most unique of the bunch, and it's absolutely classic. Now, a large portion of what people talk about when discussing a Mario Kart game is the item balancing, and I think it's pretty tame here. Let's get a rundown over the items that are present here. You got the banana, toss them on the road behind you, or throw them up front. Mushrooms, it's a speed boost and it can get you through off-road sections and such. The red and green shells. Red shells home in on enemies but break on impact if they hit a wall. Green shells don't home in but they can bounce off of walls. Good contrast between abilities. The coin. It's a coin. The feather. It's a big jump. That's it. I like it. Boo. It makes you partially invisible, partially invincible, and steals an item. Lightning shrinks other racers and makes them slower. And the star. It makes you completely invincible, it increases speed, and if you run into someone, they spin out. Most of these are Mario Kart mainstays, or at the very least would return to future games in some way. But unfortunately in Super Mario Kart, I don't really like how most of the items work. The mushroom feels like I'm being thrown forward and I feel so out of control using it. The shells are fine, but projectiles seem to have a tough time working in a pseudo 3D environment, and specifically the red shell just doesn't work half the time. Really, the controls overall feel off. When I turn, I feel like I turn way harder than I ever wanted to, and I react accordingly. The drifting, especially, is just way too strong. I can't really drift in this game. It is also made much more difficult due to rubber banding. Rubber banding is a gaming term, if you don't know, and is most heavily used with Mario Kart, at least from what I've seen. Basically, if you're far behind, the AI carts ahead of you will slow down so you can catch up. But if you're ahead, they'll speed up to keep you on your toes. Listen, it makes sense. In a racing game from 1992 on the Super Nintendo, you gotta keep things interesting for the player. If they were way far ahead, where would the fun be? Nowadays, rubber banding seems to have been phased out of Mario Kart, but it was prominent in Super Mario Kart. That's where a lot of the challenge really came from. Let's see, what else? Battle mode? It's a battle mode. What more could you want? It's fine. It's whatever. What more can I say? I do love the music for the battle courses though. Really, I like most of the music in this game. However, I eat up just about anything Mario Kart, so perhaps it could be better to get a more well-rounded opinion about the whole music thing here. Hey Kelpie, you have a tendency to discuss and put music-related things on your channel, right? You should be well-equipped to talk this stuff. It's time for a musical moment with Kelpie G!
Thank you for the opportunity.
Vixikitsi!
Glad I could join you. Salutations to all, it is I, Kelpie G, and I too make videos on this platform. You should go watch those, but only after finishing this video. Mario Kart is a franchise I covet as part of my childhood, so I suppose while I'm here I could talk about each game's soundtrack. Ah yes, the one that started it all. Luckily this game was aided by the awesome Super Nintendo audio chip, which gives it that familiar charm. The main theme of the game elicits such a feeling of happiness. No title screen should be allowed to have this awesome opening music. Then, when selecting your driver, you're greeted with this jazzy tune which greatly aids my hourly practice of staring into Donkey Kong Jr.'s soul. Mario Circuit is your typical Mario Kart style track, a little upbeat, somewhat stripped back, and very catchy. Shouldn't take away from it at all, but the soundtrack offers even better. Donut Plains is very simple and repetitive, but it does work with the accompanying chorus well enough to where it doesn't bother. Next is Ghost Valley, which is loosely musical and more ambient if anything. Much too simple, and bogs the course down quite a bit. Fortunately, after that we were treated with an awesome Bowser's Castle theme that really gets the blood pumping. It feels very urgent, which is perfect with the quick nature of the stage. Choco Island offers a very tropical and whimsical feeling that I could honestly fall asleep while listening to it. It is a little on the simpler side, but limitations at the time probably withheld some of the tracks. Koopa Beach is just flat out amazing. Super cheery and fun feeling and just extremely befitting of one of my favorite courses. Vanilla Lake is another highlight, unfortunately it has to be the accompaniment to one of the worst stages in the game. God, those ice blocks bring up some painful memories. And to close out the courses, we get one of the greatest renditions of the Rainbow Road theme. The track is very layered and filled to the brim with fun and interesting noises that only this NES could produce. Battle mode is gifted a pretty rad theme that could honestly pass the music to a beat 'em up game. And to close it all out, the staff roll isn't anything too special, but it provides more fun and lighthearted music to reminisce over for the folks who grew up with the game. I doubt they're complaining, and neither am I. In conclusion, this game is somewhat limited in terms of its soundtrack, but for what it manages to accomplish, it does provide some excellent music for Mario's first racing game.
Thank you so much, Kelpie. See you when it's time to talk about every single other game in the series' music. Well, that was Super Mario Kart. It's a game. You could tell that there was nowhere to go but up from here. Critically at the time, though, it was great. It was exactly what it wanted to be, albeit I feel like it could have gone a little farther.